Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'd like to welcome everybody here, distinguished guests, neighborhood members, Parks and Rec staff, all the children that are here, to this very exciting opening of Officer Daniel Webster Children's Park. I'm Greg Miller. I'm a landscape architect with the local firm MRWM. We did the design for the park in very close working relationship with the City of Albuquerque, the Parks and Rec Department, and then our fantastic contractor who did such a good job. I know that a lot of names will be read today, but I wanted to specifically acknowledge some of the folks that we directly worked with in Parks and Rec. Barbara Taylor, incredible leadership, has done a little louder. Thank you. Her incredible leadership is what leads to something like this. Working also very closely with David Flores, Christina Sandoval, Robert Ramirez, it really was a labor of love for everybody involved. I can speak for everyone involved that it's really an honor to be a part of a project like this. A couple years ago, we started working with the Parks and Rec Department on a master plan. And at that time, the idea was to have a really large inclusive park that was really a signature destination park. And we knew at that time that it was going to be something special. So we do a lot of park designs with the city, and this one really stood out from the very start that it was going to be something that everybody could be really proud of. The intent and design of the direction that the city provided of that inclusive park would make this really like no other park in the region. It makes a powerful message about the commitment to build facilities that benefit a neighborhood, users with special needs, and the entire city. We knew that this would create a space where kids and adults of all abilities can play side by side, sharing little joys and providing encouragement to overcome challenges and leading by example. This mission of the parks makes it so fitting that it be named after Officer Daniel Webster. This park becomes more than just a park. It's a true symbol of everything that makes a park special. Again, we're very pleased to be here, very honored to be part of this project. And I would like now to invite Mayor Barry up to have a few words.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning.
What a beautiful day. I want to start by giving a quick shout out to the kids here from Hawthorne. You said you'd yell if I called you. Hawthorne's here. Where's La Mesa? La Mesa behind me. The Coral Community Charter School. Thank you so much for being here today. If you went over to my truck that I drove up in this morning, on the top of the dash, you're going to see a big blue ribbon. And that's the big blue ribbon that was on my car the day that we had the funeral for Daniel Webster. And I've got it there for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's just a constant reminder to me as your mayor what it means to be a police officer. And these men and women who are here in uniform, who get up every day to help keep us safe and work really, really hard to make sure our community is a great community. It just reminds me of the sacrifices that they and their families make every day. It also reminds me of what our community does when times are hard. I'll never forget that 17-mile drive to the cemetery that day, lined almost shoulder to shoulder the entire way with men and women and their grandchildren, their kids, people from Albuquerque that came out to pay respects to Dan Webster. And just to say as a community that this is a tragic event, but we're going to go through this together. And I know that Michelle and her family appreciate it, I know the Webster family appreciate it, and I as a mayor appreciate it. And it's also a reminder for me as a mayor that sometimes when you get a little big for your britches, I just look at that ribbon and I think, here's a man that served his country in the military. He served his country and his city and his state as a police officer, and he paid the ultimate price. So it's a humbling and grounding thing for me as well. So I get to come today, and as I was looking at that ribbon today, and last night I drove by Dan's memorial there on Eubank, and I got to thinking how joyous this will be today for us to come together, all of these people, all of us together, all of our kids, to say thank you to Dan and his family, and to honor him in a way that I know he's smiling on. I know he's looking at this, and he's thinking to himself, wow, of all the things you could do, working with kids, especially with an adaptive park, what a beautiful thing. how that speaks to the service, how that speaks to Dan's heart, his giving heart, his servant's heart. And I'm just really, really thrilled to be here today. I want to point out a couple of people as we get started here, but I'll tell you a little bit about the project. So this is a $1.2 million project. 470 of this came from GO bonds and impact fees, so thank you taxpayers of Albuquerque for honoring Dan. I want to make a special thank you to former City Councilor Ray Gardino. Ray, would you stand up? Ray, you drove this thing, man, from the beginning, and you fought hard for this piece of ground. You fought hard for this park. I know the Parks Department took your passion, and we took your passion, and we drove it from, drove the construction. Councilor Davis, thank you so much for taking that baton from Councilor Gardino and getting this thing wrapped up. So thank you so much. So we had the groundbreaking back in July, and we have been working on it ever since. And we have had a team of professionals. And I'll tell you, as a mayor, there's several days where Barbara Taylor, who's here with Parks and Rec, Barbara, thank you, and your staff. Barbara would walk in my office and say, "It's not good enough today. Something happened. Somebody stepped on the underlayment. It's not perfect. We're going to tear it out and we're going to redo it." And they took that attitude because it's Dan. Our design consultants, the contractors, thank you so much. So this is an inclusive park, and I want to dovetail off the words of the architect. We need to do more for adaptive work in the city of Albuquerque. We're always out there every day trying to do something with a handicap ramp, with a park. Well, we got a long way to go, but I know, and I want you to know as a community, that we are working on it and thinking about it every day. So the goal of the park was to have different elements with degrees of risk and skill, so there's something for everybody here at the park. We also want children to feel challenged. Everybody should feel a good challenge and to be accepted by having all the kids be able to play together. There's a young man here named Diego. Where's Diego? I met him just a minute ago. Diego, stand up, my friend.
Yay, Diego!
See, Diego, I thank Diego early for his leadership, because he was out here the other day and he wanted to get up the slide, and there was other kids on the slide. And so he made every attempt to get up that slide, and the kids were cheering him on, and he's going to get up that slide one of these days. And that's what this park is about. It's about playing together. It's about spurring people on. It's about lifting each other up. And he kept trying, and the other boys were encouraging him, and I look forward to the day when he calls me and says, "I got up that slide." So there's wheelchair ramps throughout to allow children to get all the way to the top of the play structure and interact with their peers. Features also include sensory processing issues such as autism. To help with that, we have special texture elements. We have musical elements in the park. Kids with sensory issues can interact in the world differently than most of us, as we know, so we want them to feel welcome here. If you've ever been in a restroom with a child who covers their ears when the hand dryer comes on, you know that they're extra sensitive to sound. You've been around a child who jumps off of everything. That was me, actually, when I was a kid. They probably need more impact, stronger touch than the average person. So we made this park, we designed this park, and our professionals designed it to allow for that. There's hideaway areas. There's particularly areas to help kids, as I said earlier, with autism. We have 6 slides at this park, spinning elements, numerous climbing features, as well as ample shade. I know the parents and grandparents, well, the teachers that are here will be thankful for that. A track was designed so the kids can race small golf balls on these areas, or cars down the track. It's already been proven that gives kids an opportunity to compete, come together, and who doesn't like to race with their friends? So once again, it's just really been a great opportunity to think about and be intentional about working with children that need a sensory area and they need access. So Parks and Recreation will also be working with Therapeutic Recreation and Special Olympics on programs here at the park. So once again, we've got some other folks that want to talk this morning, but I just want to thank you as a community for coming out. I want to thank the kids. I want to thank the teachers. God bless you for being teachers. I want to thank the family. I want to thank the police officers and everybody that came out today. Certainly our city councilors, Chief Eden's going to say a few words. Chief, thank you for your leadership. South Los Altos Neighborhood Association, Eileen Jensen, I think, is here today. There you are, Eileen. Yay. Greg Miller and all the folks at Morrow, Reardon, Wilkinson, and Miller. Lee Landscapes, Lee Scott, Aaron Scott, Jesus, thank you so much for the great work. And as I said earlier, the children that came out today. So this is what it looks like when we come together as a community. This is what it looks like when we stand up and say thank you, Dan Webster. Thank you to all of our police officers. Thank you to Michelle and all the family that have suffered a tremendous loss. And here we are today celebrating Dan. And I can think of no better way to do it. So God bless you for coming, and thank you so much. And thank you, Dan Webster, for all your teachings, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Chief Eaton, would you like to share some words?
For those of us that knew Dan Webster, one of the things you really need to know is that I think, first of all, he'd be very humbled to see this, but second of all, we would all have to fight him to get on the equipment. That's the kind of heart he had, not only for our children in this community, but the community that he served. You know, Dan paid the ultimate sacrifice, and today we're here to honor him and the legacy that he left behind in his short time here with us. We honor him as a career veteran of the United States Army, and we honor him as an officer with the Albuquerque Police Department. A man who really stood for the motto to serve and protect. A man who truly had a servant's heart. And you're going to hear from Michelle in a minute, and I hope she'll share some of those stories about Dan with you, because every time I'm around Michelle, I just have an opportunity to laugh about the great life that they had together. And Michelle, we're sorry it was cut so short. But you can see by what's being built here, what's been built here, and you can look at the smiles and the expressions of these kids. What they really want to do is cut that ribbon. So, Michelle, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Well, I didn't know I was going to be speaking. Sorry, I'm in the middle of working, as you guys can see by my getup here. I don't normally wear this around, just drive around in my car. Nature of the beast, this is what we do. We still have to go on, work goes on, life goes on, still have warrants to serve. And Dan would tell me, you know, put on your big girl panties and deal. So here I am dealing and working, and it's been kind of a somber last couple months for me with the sentencing hearing and different things going on. So to have this today, and I didn't realize the park was going to be finished this early. I thought it was going to be much later in the year. So this is a nice way for me to pick up a little bit of joy in the last sad months that I've had and that other people around me have experienced. And as we go to Police Week again on Friday, I look forward to being with all the other families and survivors of yet again another 140 officers that were killed in the line of duty in 2016. With that said, I'm really proud to be here with you guys today. I had to make sure I came. I had to break from my search warrant to come and to be here. But it's a happy thing, and Dan would really love this park. He would, like Chief said, he would fight us all to get to play on all the equipment and run around and probably jump on the trampoline. I'm not sure if it would withstand his weight, but he would definitely give it a try, and he's broken many chairs in our time. So anyway, thank you for all coming out, and let's get this ribbon cut.
Thank you, Chief and Michelle. Councilor Davis, would you like to make any comments?
Thank you all for coming. I can't say any more than what's been said today. It's an honor to work on a project like this. But honestly, the leadership that Councilor Garduno and Director Taylor put into this, and the heart and the passion, as the mayor said, really makes this something we can be proud of. But when last year we knew we were getting to this place and we were getting ready to groundbreaking, and we said we need a name for our park, and really, what can that be? You know, I want to give credit where credit's due to our friends in Eileen and the friends in the South Los Altos Neighborhood Association, who said, you know, Dan served our neighborhood. He came to our neighborhood association meetings. He worked this beat. And this is a true community effort park. It's special. It's special in New Mexico for some very special people. And in my family, we have some special people who will enjoy having a place like this that works for them. And it's fit that this is not just another park for our children, but it's one for special kids. And it's named after somebody who was a special man who, as we had heard, really was a big kid at heart. And we've already seen our neighborhood association calling APD at night to ask about the construction workers working late in the light to be sure they were supposed to be here, and folks in the neighborhood looking after our park, our officers who come here to write reports and do community meetings for reports right here in the parking lot, because it's a place they have pride in a particular way. And there's no better way I can think as we continue to move forward in our city, looking for good news for good people, to show that we're really seriously committing to our community policing efforts, than to build a new place and that we as a community and a department can honor and work together. And so I just want to say thank you for including us. Councilor Gardenia, thanks for starting this, and Barbara, it's amazing. And I also want to recognize, while we're here, State Senator Mimi Stewart, who joined us today, who represents this neighborhood and has been a great champion and partner for our community policing efforts. So thank you all for coming. These kids don't want to hear any more politicians talking, so we've got a few more folks, and they want to get to play. We got to play with the slides this morning a little bit. I got to tell you, they're awesome. They can hold our weight, and so I'm looking forward to a few folks in blue joining us on the slide here in a few minutes. So thanks.
Okay, I'd like to invite one more speaker up, Miss Eileen Jensen-Yates from the South Los Altos Neighborhood Association.
I just thank you, Mr. Mayor, Police Chief Eden, Michelle Webster, and Pat Davis. And this is a great day for South Los Altos. Thank you for coming. I'd like to acknowledge all of my board members that I have been a part of this. Penelope Bouchard, our vice president. She's also the principal at Hawthorne Elementary. Art Bazan, our treasurer. Kathy Peterson, our secretary. Board members Alan Osborne, Fred Rodriguez, and my husband, the one who had the idea to name the park after Daniel Webster. Thank you for all that you do. When we were offered a green space by Councilor Ray Garduno, it was so exciting. We had been using the school at Hawthorne for our green space. Mr. Garduno was our champion. He used to come to our meetings at the Nazarene Church. Sometimes there would be more guests that I would ask to come than people from the neighborhood in attendance. I can tell you now that we meet at Hawthorne School and are getting bigger crowds these days. I'm feeding people. This is what is happening, people. So just in case you haven't been to my neighborhood meetings, I've had a lot of the officers come and I feed them too. So we do our best here at South Los Altos. Our school at Hawthorne is the center of our neighborhood, and we are improving it all the time. We were so blessed to get our 2 neighborhood signs for communication in our school with its upgraded parking lot and its marquee signs. Is a great help to getting the word out. Thank you, Councilor Garduno. He's my personal hero. The children in our neighborhood are so important to all of us, and having this park is going to be such a blessing to all of us. I know the kids will grow up to have wonderful memories of their childhood in South Los Altos. The school is such a central part of our neighborhood that, as I said, our Vice President Penelope doesn't even live in Albuquerque, but she's just the principal, and so it's so much a part of us that she's my Vice President. We all know what this park will do for the kids' physical well-being, but also we believe that they will have a sense of pride in our neighborhood. We all will. It is such a blessing to have City Council, Mayor, and Police Department that care about South Los Altos neighborhood. Michelle, thank you to your husband for being the kind of man that these kids can look up to and have role models to believe in. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to South Los Altos today.